Hello everyone and welcome from Northeast Regional Park here near Central Florida. We're here for the Week 6 MLS Next regular season for the South Florida Football Academy as we take on IdeaSport. IdeaSport typically plays out of the Wide World of Sports facility, but we're here at Northeast Regional Park. And today should be a heck of a matchup as both South Florida and IdeaSport have similar records this season. South Florida, I still believe, is going to be the stronger of the two teams, but we'll see how they perform today. Last week was a little bit of a difficult week for South Florida, losing 4-2 to Tampa Bay United. So let's take a look at the formation that Coach Greg has today. Up front, we have Nick and Karapetian. To the left is Mora, with Brian in the center mid and JC out to the right. Julian and Lano make up the midfield center defense, as well as Brandon, who is coming up from our Sunshine division for his first start today on the MLS Next team. Idon in the center back and Matthew out to the right, as well as Brandon in the middle for the keeper. Team looks strong this week. Coach Greg going with a new formation of 3 in the back. We'll see how the team works this one out, as last week we also had a new formation which had its benefits and its rewards, but also had some issues that I think we probably have worked out for this week. So we'll see how the team does. Really looking forward to this. It's such a beautiful day out there today. Weather is around the high 70s, low 80s. The fields are made out of turf here at Northeast Regional Park, so the ball will travel a bit faster and will generate a little bit more heat for the players on the field, but I think they'll be able to manage. There are several fields here at Northeast Regional Park, all being turf, and it's kind of interesting to see that they're all at various levels, meaning that one may be sitting higher than the next. As you can see in the background here, there's a little bit of a hill. Well, there's a field on top of that hill where there will be another game being played, but each field grades down. So we're basically on the middle field, middle in height, and also middle of the complex as far as where we're playing, as the team gets together for their before game chant and ritual. And I think we're going to be kicking off here shortly. This again is MLS Next program, South Florida Football Academy out of South Florida, obviously near the West Palm Beach County area. And here we go. Ball off to Idon. Idon sends the ball long, looking for Nick. And Nick's got a good run here. He's got the ball. Goalie's out of his position. And here we go. A goal already. Beautiful goal. Awesome start to this game. Within the first minute, we have a goal. 1-0 South Florida Football Academy as the whole team celebrates. We're going to take another look at this one. Wow, what a goal. Right at the beginning, this had to be a set play as Nick plays this ball back to Idon. Idon just kicks it as hard as he can up the middle of the field, and the center back is not closing Nick and just gives him this opportunity to send that ball right over the goalie's head. Here it is in slow motion. The goalie knew he was in trouble, started backtracking, was hoping he was going to try to take a shot at him, and just popped it right over his head. And the center back for IdeaSport just doesn't know what to do. He is in absolute awe of the speed and the quickness in which we have scored this first goal here in Northeast Regional Park. Wow. Unbelievable. Great start for South Florida. 1-0. Here we go. IdeaSport kicking the ball now and working this, trying to get over to the right side, but decided to go backwards. Finding their right back. Now a little give and go. And right to the feet of Brandon. Brandon passes off to Lano. Lano to Julian. Julian now looking for a pass. Finds Brian. Brian out to Mora quickly. Some good passing right from the start. Mora crosses to the middle of the field looking for Karapetian. Oh, Brian takes a shot. Wow. As we take another look at this snapshot, Brian just got it on the side of his foot and just sent it wide. But man, that would have been 2-0 within 5 minutes of this first quarter of the match. Unbelievable as the IdeaSport goalie takes the first goal kick of the game. IdeaSport trying to work out of the back, much like South Florida does. Looking for someone to pass to. Center back decides to take it on his own, is running up the field. And IdeaSport seems to be pretty well corralled here in the back, but they're out of bounds. Wow, just an amazing start so far. Everything seems to be firing on all cylinders as JC takes the throw in here, finds Brian, nice turn. Pass up to Nick. Nick unable to hold that ball and looks like he's going to be called for the first foul of the game. Yep, just looks like he gets a little piece of his jersey there. Just not really much of a contact, but I guess enough for this referee to call it. And we'll see where we go here. So first, free kick of the game. And this one goes down the left side. JC's there to meet it. Back to Matthew. Matthew back to Edon. Edon looking for Brandon. Brandon came to... Oh, wow. Brandon tried to launch this one and ended up going right into the stomach of an IdeaSport player. And I don't know if we're going to count that as a shot on goal for IdeaSport, but woo, that came close as that one run right up into his chest and out of bounds for a goal kick. Well, that was a little scary. Hopefully we don't have too many of those in the game as Brandon kicks this ball off to Matthew. Matthew looking for JC. JC makes contact back to Edon. Edon kicks it up the middle and only finds an IdeaSport player. IdeaSport now on the attack, taking a shot, and there's a legitimate shot on goal. But nothing for Brandon as he easily picks that one up off the ground and is looking for a player to roll to, but decides to move this team up the field as he's about to punt. And it's off. Looking for Mora. Mora looks like he's going to get it on the bounce here. Good body positioning by him as he puts this ball on the left side. He just can't get there. Well, IdeaSport could really benefit from maybe fencing in this property to the back and to the side as this ball tends to roll quite a distance once it goes out of bounds. And they take the throw in here and send the ball long. Julian trying to come away with it here. Mora tries to assist. A little bit of a scrum for the ball, but IdeaSport comes away for it as Nick applies pressure to the center back. IdeaSport in much of a formation like our own as this ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Mora. Looks like they have three at the back and they're trying to play out of it as the throw comes in. IdeaSport moving this ball back to the center. And up the field, they find a player, Lano there to intervene. They still come away with it. Now Julian, now Matthew, now JC. Everybody's trying to get on this ball. They just can't do it. And IdeaSport's going to be called for an offsides. Well, everybody was going for that ball. They just couldn't come away with it. And as we look at it here, that's where the player was offsides, clearly behind the back line of this South Florida team as Edon lines up to take this free kick. Ball down the middle of the field, much like at the beginning, finds Nick. Nick trying to look for Brian. Can't find him. Julian with a nice slide tackle to come away with that ball to Mora. Mora to Brian. Brian now trying to find someone. Only got three IdeaSport players all around him and able to dribble the ball through the defense and drawing this foul here. As you can clearly see, it is a foul. And we're going to have our second free kick of the game here. Don elects to go short to Brandon. Brandon bringing the ball up the field. He's got some space. Cuts the ball inside, but loses it, but gets fouled in the process. As you can see here, same player. Leaving that leg outside a little too long. Ends up catching the leg of Brandon. And Edon to take this free kick. Beautiful ball out into the box, but nobody is there to capitalize on that one. And it's out for a IdeaSport free kick. Or goal kick, sorry. Goalkeeper looking for someone to pass to. Goes to his right. Back over to the left. South Florida applying pressure. Only lightly though. Trying to keep IdeaSport back in their own half as they kick this ball long. Matthew gets ahead to it. And then a foot gets it over to Brian. Brian over to JC. JC looking for Nick. Finds him. Nick now running through the middle of the ball. Gets met by an IdeaSport player who takes it off his feet. Brandon back on the ball to Julian. Julian back to Lano. Lano up the field now. And shot from Nick, but that one just didn't have the velocity to challenge the keeper as he easily picks that one up. But still looking good here from South Florida. IdeaSport keeper taking his time now. Rolls it out to his center back. Center back looking forward. This IdeaSport player seems to be trapped and is forced to play it back. And now over to the middle to their number 8. Number 8 across the field to the left side. JC trying to get there to apply the pressure. Now JC running back. IdeaSport has some numbers here on the left side as they play this ball down the middle. And Brandon quickly comes out to collect it and rolls this out to Matthew. Matthew playing over to Lano. Lano kicking the ball up to the field. Finds Carpathian. Carpathian over to Brian. Brian now looking over to the right. And Gavin up in the air and comes down hard, and that was clearly a foul. Gavin goes up, gets ahead to it, and then pays the price for his vertical leap and comes down pretty hard, but he appears to be okay. Free kick coming. Don sends it long. Oh, header from the IdeaSport player, puts it out of bounds. Looks like he was looking for more on that one, and he almost had him. And in the IdeaSport box as well. More to take the throw. Looking for players to come and assist. Nick is happy to help. Puts this ball up in the air. Towards the keeper. Takes a bounce in front of the keeper, but does not go into the goal. That was looking like it was going over his head and in. But apparently popped up harmlessly, and he was able to come back down with it. As this ball's played through the middle, Matthew's trying to harass the IdeaSport player to give up the ball. Nice play by IdeaSport to get this ball out to the left side. JC's on the run, but there is a shot, and it's well wide of the goal. That was a decent shot. You can definitely see IdeaSport's plan. They're trying to expose this right side since they're trying to work this ball through the middle, and then they play a quick pass out to our right, their left, as Brandon lines up to take this free kick. Sends it long, looking for Brian, finds him. Brian bringing the ball down nicely. Loses it from the IdeaSport player, but Lano's there to pick it up. And Lano is called for the handball as we take another look. Lano using his size, trying to get in between that player. And it does make contact ever so slightly with his arm. And IdeaSport takes a free kick from the middle of the field. It's a dangerous place as they have some players in the box. Let's see if they can get it to him. Matthew there to get ahead to it as it goes back to JC. JC elects to kick this ball out to the side, and it'll be an IdeaSport throw. IdeaSport looking a little haggard already. Can't say I blame them. Getting scored on in the first minute can't be fun. But it seems like they're trying to formulate some plans here as we're called for another foul. Having a hard time seeing what the foul is there. Maybe the ref saw a push. I didn't see it. And now IdeaSport has another free kick in a dangerous area. Let's see where they put this one. Towards the box, towards the keeper. Keeper punches it out. Nice punch by Brandon. Oh, IdeaSport player tries to put this ball back into play. He does so. Brandon comes out to collect. And we got an IdeaSport player that is down. Definitely no malice here. As Brandon went to go up, he got kicked, slid to the ground, and came down hard on the IdeaSport player's leg. I think he's going to be all right, and we're going to have a drop ball here for South Florida. Nice punch out by the keeper on that free kick. Definitely was in a dangerous area, and Brandon recognized that and got his fist to it as he rolls this to Edon. Edon over to Lano. Lano looking for someone up the field, possibly Nick, just couldn't find him. And this ball goes down to the side as Matthew goes there. He's able to muscle the IdeaSport player out of its path and wins a throw-in for South Florida. All right, throw-in coming. Deep to Nick, off his chest. Down the field to Karapetian. And out of bounds for IdeaSport. JC able to find Brian with that header. Over to Matthew. Matthew trying to find Lano. Can't do it. IdeaSport player read it nicely. As this ball comes through the middle again, Matthew's back on it. He's trying to find Mora, but he is not there. And this is going to be an IdeaSport throw. All right. And here comes the ball. Lano coming down with it, kicks it away. IdeaSport's calling for a handball. I don't think they're going to get it. As Gavin plays this to Brian. Brian, tries to play along, but ends up finding the back of the head of an IdeaSport player. This ball is loose within the midfield, and Lano kicks it up and out of danger. As Nick tries to get a run-in on here, almost got there. The IdeaSport keeper came to the top of his box in order to collect it. The IdeaSport center back did not have any effort in trying to delay Nick getting to that ball. You should really think about that as this game continues. As IdeaSport now back on the ball and in a dangerous area. Matthew tried to attack the ball, but it got passed away. And in the box here, Lano is there, got a foot to it, another shot, and this one well wide of the goal. For no issue there. You can see Lano kind of intervene there. They pop this ball out to the right, and this one well wide of the goal, no threat. But does set up a corner. Oh no, I'm sorry, out of bounds. Edon kicks this ball long, finds Nick's foot. Nick trying to play it up for Brian. And IdeaSport trying to find this ball to get it ahead, and somewhat of a nice move by the IdeaSport player, but Mora was there to intervene. And this one is dribbled out by IdeaSport. So IdeaSport trying to get a foothold here, making some dangerous plays, getting some favorable calls in their half, but so far not much is there to threaten South Florida as this ball is played back to Edon from Julian. Edon up to Lano. Lano over to Gavin. Gavin back to Lano. Lano long, looking for Brian. Can he get him? He does find him. This is dangerous now. Here goes Brian on the run. He gets the cross in with his left foot. Oh, he hits Gavin. Gavin got hit in the chest and he slipped. He heads the ball back down. And, oh, man, now what a great cross. Thought that was going to be goal number 2. And IdeaSport just escapes by the hair on their chin. And they're trying to work this ball again on the left side. There, Lano there to intercept. Gavin with the ball now. Gets pressure by a couple IdeaSport players. We're able to get it off them, and they play the ball back. IdeaSport now up the field. Lano there again to head the ball back to JC. JC on the right side now, looking for a cross. Gets it blocked by an IdeaSport player, and it's out of bounds. Woo! Back and forth action here so far. Pretty good. As this ball is thrown back to Matthew. Matthew over to Nick. Nick taking a drive in here. Oh, this could be dangerous. Could this be number 2? Oh, and into the side netting. Nick definitely finding the holes and the gaps to play in here against this IdeaSport team. Almost came away with another one there. Just a little too much to the right as it hit the side netting. And the goalie looking to play this one short. Kind of surprising with the pressure that we have up front. And there it is, JC. JC with the shot. Just wide of the goal. Comes away with on the pressure. Puts this ball up with his right foot. And looking for the back post. But could not get it. Well, let's see what the IdeaSport keeper does now. With all of the South Florida players up, he still elects to go short. IdeaSport trying to desperately pass out of the back. I don't know if they're going to have much luck, as all the South Florida players appear to have a man, but this IdeaSport player gets away from JC, tries to play the ball upfield, but cannot do so. This is going to be out for another South Florida throw. Matthew on the ball now, looking for a player to find. Goes down the field, but it's headed up by IdeaSport and out of bounds for an IdeaSport throw. Well, the trip this week was relatively short compared to previous weeks. About 3 hours to get up here as Lana runs on this ball. Gets it to Brian. Brian over to Gavin. Gavin down to Nick. Nick over to JC, who is on the run on the right sideline. Here we go. Let's look up here. Here's his cross. IdeaSport parries it away. Looks like JC's going to get back on the ball. Looking for players. Finds Lano. Lano chips this ball up over the top. Looking for Matthew, who's on the run. And it just goes out of the back for a goal kick for IdeaSport. Well, all the players getting into the mix here and against IdeaSport. Definitely something to be said about this new formation that Coach Greg. Oh, as Lano chests this ball down, another mistake by the keeper. Takes a shot. This one's a little wide. Either that or it was a pass to Nick, and it just went wide of him. But, man, all the pressure in the world on this IdeaSport keeper, and he is just living dangerously as he keeps giving the ball away on these goal kicks. And here we go again. Let's see what they decide to do. Goalkeeper is surveying the land here. This time doesn't go too short, but he still stays on his half of the field. Gets it out to their right back, who plays the ball up wisely. But this time, Brian gets fouled as he made an attempt on that ball. This is by number 9 of IdeaSport, who definitely got a piece of his leg instead of the ball. Julian now taking this free kick. Let's see where this one ends up. And he's going to go short to Nick. Nick trying to play it back to Julian, but finds Brandon. Brandon to Julian. Julian on the dribble. And this one's played back from IdeaSport. They find a player on the run now as he kicks this ball and gets through the defenders, but Brandon's there to kick it away, but unfortunately it lands at the feet of another IdeaSport player who has Lano in front of him. Some good passing from them as Matthew tries to block that kick, and Brandon comes away with that one. I don't believe that one was going to threaten the goal either, but Brandon wasn't taking any chances as he dove to grab that one. And this one's played out to Mora. Mora down the line, can't find a player. And here we go. Shot from IdeaSport. Again, ooh, that one had a little bit of a spin on it as Brandon had an issue corralling it. But again, easily picked up by the keeper who was in the proper position and doing his job as he urges the South Florida players to move forward. Looks like he's going to punt this one away. And he does. Although it's a short punt, it finds an IdeaSport player. But Lano is quick to get there. And he kicks this ball up, but finds an IdeaSport player as well. There's all kinds of feet flying around here, but South Florida comes away with it through Gavin. Gavin now on the attack. Cannot find... Oh, there we go, and it's going to be in a touch for IdeaSport. A little bit of frantic passing there from both teams. Unfortunately, IdeaSport came away with it on the throw. We'll see how we do here. And ball up in the air. Looks like it's going to go out of bounds for another IdeaSport throw. I think that could have been anybody's ball, really. And let's see what we have going on here on the next one. All right, IdeaSport looking for a player to pass to. And they find one, but they are quickly attacked by JC and Brian. JC getting this ball out to Nick, but loses it quickly to IdeaSport, who makes some quick passes in the middle. Now working the ball out to the outside as Mora plays some defense here on number 20. Number 20 gets the ball back to the middle. And now the ball back out to the right. Back to number 20. 20 is going to send it into the box. Looking for their big man there. Matthew able to play the ball out. Finds Julian. Julian up the field. IdeaSport player heads it, but Nick gets on top of that now. Quick little move out to the right. Down the line. And he gets muscled, but he stays up. He's still on the ball, trying to dribble, trying to get through. Cannot do it, and Mora comes away with the slide tackle to prevent IdeaSport on a counter. What a run by Nick. Good job going down the sideline, unable to be muscled down. Really impressive dribbling work as IdeaSport takes a throw in here. And Brian is getting in the mix on the big number 8. Able to come away with the ball for South Florida is Nick. But got a little bit more pressure than what he's been getting by the IdeaSport player. As this ball is dribbling through the middle. Lano trying to catch up. Now they play out to the left. Matthew is out of position a little bit, but he Don's there to assist. And now this is going to go out. Let's see if they call it for a corner. Well, South Florida appear to be up the field quite a bit, and a little bit to their detriment, as it seems to be they're a little susceptible as the first corner of the game is taken. And it looks like there's going to be played out to Orlando. Orlando player chips it over JC and plays it into the box, but no threat there for Brandon. Well, as the South Florida players go up the field each and every time, it appears that they're a little bit open with some gaps in their defense that Orlando is starting to exploit on the counter. As we'll see it here, as Don passes that ball over to IdeaSport player, Julian is applying the pressure, trying to get on him. Coming across, Julian gets the ball out of bounds, but it's going to be an IdeaSport throw. Well, I sure would like to see another goal before we go to the halftime. We are about 15 minutes away from that. And just to keep the pressure on this IdeaSport team. Uh-oh, mistake there by the center back. Goalie's able to come out and kicks the ball away, but JC is on it. This could be a quick goal here. JC on the run, looking for the cross. Finds Gavin. Gavin's trying to get to the ball. But it looks like they're going to call a handball. The ball pops up here, and it does hit Gavin in the hand. I don't really think there's much he could have done there or IdeaSport escape. But not for long, as this ball's immediately turned over to Nick. Nick looking around, finds Gavin. Gavin looking to give the ball back to Nick on the run, but the IdeaSport was there to kick it away. And it looks like we're going to have a foul called here on Gavin, who clips the feet of the IdeaSport player who is running back. Incidental contact, but a foul nonetheless, as IdeaSport looks to take this free kick from the back. The center back plays it back to the keeper, and now the keeper got under trouble. Oh, Nick almost came away with another one, which would have been a real easy goal to get. And IdeaSport's now moving this ball around. Here comes Lano. Lano looking to play some more pressure. Gavin now applying pressure to the ball. This ball is played long. Hits the IdeaSport player in the chest, who's able to get it to one of his own. Now here they come from the right side. JC applying some pressure there, a little bit to the back. And Lano there to... Okay, looks like they fouled Lano now. Let's take a look. As Lano came away with that ball. Oh, yeah. Definitely trying to pull the big man back, but unable to do so. I think he still would have gotten away from that hold. As this ball's kicked up the field, IdeaSport plays it into touch. It looks like one of the IdeaSport players is having an issue. We'll see what's going on. We have some subs coming in. It looks like Mateo and Gavin Bethke are going to be coming into the play. Into play. Julian stepping out. And Martin's going to be in the game, coming in for JC. Another foul called here. Looks like Martin got a little bit of the arm there, trying to get around the player. And another free kick. And down the field, as Don comes away with that one, playing it out, but it's going to be another corner. Well, referee's calling a good game so far. The fouls that he's been calling have definitely been fouls, with a couple of exceptions. But so far, so good. Nothing major being missed. SFFA looking good going into the halftime. As this ball comes across the goal, nobody gets a touch to it. Don able to get it. And now trying to bring South Florida on the attack as he makes a charging run down the sideline. He's looking to play this ball up, but IdeaSport player read it and was able to get that ball into touch. As you can see here, Don always working hard to try to get something going for this team, and almost got this one going. I think if he got that pass off, it definitely would have been trouble for IdeaSport, as M.A.D has checked in and is now throwing this ball down the line. Finds Brian. Brian playing the ball across. Oh, that would have been a beautiful cross. Martin was a little out of position, was coming in for that, but just couldn't get there in time. This ball is played out again to the right and going to be into touch again. Throw in by IdeaSport as Gavin applies the pressure. Here comes Martin. Martin able to get a foot to the ball. Orlando trying to start to play a little bit more aggressive. As here comes a throw from Matthew to Carpathian. Carpathian to Brian. Brian call for the foul here. Not really sure. Maybe another handball call, because that ball kind of landed high up on his chest. It was sort of obscured by our cameras here as another free kick comes. And some pressure being applied. And IdeaSport still in the ball. This left wing for IdeaSport is definitely scrappy, as he's dribbling 3 players to get through and not able to get the ball off past Edon, though. He definitely has an issue with getting past Edon, as many players do. And that ball is played out of bounds for another corner for IdeaSport. IdeaSport certainly racking up the corners here in a game where South Florida looked to be dominating. IdeaSport quickly getting 3 corners on the game as this ball's headed away. And another looks like maybe a shot or a way to put it back into the box, but it goes out of bounds and no threat whatsoever to the South Florida defense. Brandon on the ball now, waiting to give his goal kick. Likes to go short, finds Edon. Edon dribbling through the middle of the field now. Plays the ball up the field into space, looking for Brian, but it's just a little bit too fast for him to catch up to. South Florida Football Academy is typically their games and their practices are played on grass fields, which when you transfer over to turf, the ball does seem to go a little bit faster. It's a little bit harder to control. There's a little bit more bounce to it, simply because of the surface that they're playing on. So obviously some of these passes are going to go a little bit faster than what these kids are used to. They're going to go a little bit, bounce a little bit higher than what they're used to. So they're probably going to take about a half or so for them to figure out the bounce and the speed of the ball and how hard they should kick it in order to make it to the player that they want it to get to. As IdeaSport's kicking this ball around, They are getting considerable pressure from the South Florida players as Thiago comes away with this one, gets it to Mateo. Mateo over to M.A.D. M.A.D. dribbling up the field, beating his IdeaSport player, but not the center back who was covering him. And it's into touch for a South Florida throw. So Coach Greg's made several changes here before we go into half. M.A.D. throwing this ball into Nick. Nick abling to scramble away here, getting it off to Brian. Brian plays this ball nicely to Martin. Martin takes a cross in. Goalie gets a hand to it. Center back has to clear it, and then shot on goal, but right to the keeper, and he's able to cover that one up nicely. So another dangerous-looking attack by South Florida as that ball almost went into the back of the net again. Keeper got a little too close to Nick. Nick almost got a piece of that with his foot as this ball rattles around down here. Thiago trying to come away with it. He's wrestling with the IdeaSport player to get to the ball and is called for the foul for grabbing his shirt. As you can see, he definitely has a handful of it, almost pulling it off the player as he made that turn. IdeaSport with a quick free kick, passing the ball very nicely as Gavin tries to apply the pressure there. Martin able to come away with it. Martin trying to play the ball across, can't find a South Florida player, and IdeaSport runs this ball out of bounds. As we take another look here, you can see IdeaSport all kinds of trouble. Brian takes the shot, and bam, right at the goalie though. Oof, definitely some trouble here for IdeaSport. Once we get into their quarter of the field, they just don't know what to do or how to contain us because we were just getting decent shots on goal each and every time. As this ball rattles around in the midfield, it goes long, and the IdeaSport keeper has a little bit of a problem with it, but is eventually able to pick it up and is now looking around for who he's going to provide this ball to. South Florida again playing high pressure. Both strikers are up. Keeper lays it on the ground and now kicks it long up the field, but only to find Don. Don plays it over to Mateo. Mateo plays it ball nicely to the corner. Let's see if Martin can get there. Unfortunately, he cannot, but that was a good idea from Mateo, looking for Martin on the run, as he would have completely exposed the IdeaSport backfield. And here we go again. IdeaSport playing the ball back, and they then kick it long and into touch for another South Florida throw. Kawa now in, throwing the ball to Gavin. Gavin back to Kawa. Kawa up the field. This one finds its way back to Idan, who's under some stress here, but nothing he can't handle. Down the field, looking for Nick. Nick comes away with it and is on the run. Finds M.A.D. M.A.D. on the ball, crossing it back in. Finds Thiago, who takes an awkward touch and it just bops up in the air and lands safely in the IdeaSport keeper's hands. But man, another well-worked attack by South Florida, ending in a cross with a threat on goal. And this one goes right to Mateo's foot this time. Now Mateo in the attack. He's looking around, tries to take a shot, gets blocked by the IdeaSport player. This ball played back up by Kawa, and it's going to be played back. Can the keeper? Oh no, he can't handle it. Played into Nick. Nick across and goal. 2-0 IdeaSport. Again, IdeaSport can't get out of their own way. Every time they get out of trouble, they just put themselves right back in it. And this time, there was no escaping as Thiago plays this ball nicely into the path of Nick. And Nick is able to get it on there, takes a nice touch, and shot right into the goal. Each and every time this IdeaSport team tries to play this ball short or long, it's ending up at a South Florida player's foot, and they finally making them pay for it. 2-0. South Florida over IdeaSport here at Northeast Regional Park, and we're approaching halftime. Let's see if IdeaSport can get on the board before that happens as they make some passes here. They appear to be bunched up in the middle of the field. Quite a few of their players are around, and they ultimately pay the price for that. As now Brian's on the ball. Brian plays the ball through to Nick. Gorgeous pass. IdeaSport keeper almost had that one get away from him, but gorgeous passing. Very, very nice execution there by Brian, and his passes have been on point each and every game that he's been in. He plays these balls over and over and over again. As you can see, Nick was offsides just by a hair there, but again, Great ball in. IdeaSport keeper playing high out of his box. And here we go for a free kick. This one goes relatively long. Brandon there to meet it with his head. Mateo trying to corral it. Might need some help here from Brian. Brian able to chest it down to Nick. Nick with a nice move around the IdeaSport player is able to get this one off to Tiago. But Tiago under pressure by the big center back from IdeaSport. And he just can't get that one away. But man, again, trouble for IdeaSport all over. And it looks like they were calling for another offsides. As this ball again is kicked directly to a South Florida player. Brian puts this one in the path of Tiago. Tiago's able to get there, but just can't control it enough to put a shot on goal. And geez Louise, we take another look. You can see Tiago just gets there with a leap, but just too much on the ball. It just keeps rolling and goes out of bounds. But man, here we go. They're playing short again. Well, it doesn't really matter, short or long. They're in trouble. So they're able to get this ball off, but Mateo's there to meet it. And I would have said there was a foul there somewhere, but the referee blows the whistle for halftime. Wow, what a game so far. IdeaSport 0, South Florida 2. Coach Greg's got to be happy with this team. Don't have any stats to show you. I can tell you it's a lot to a little, regardless of what they are. The only thing that IdeaSport probably edges us on is corner kicks, which they've had several to, I believe we've only had 0. But IdeaSport is taking advantage of certain gaps in the defense, which I think South Florida has shorn up, but still exposing that left side whenever they get in motion. But South Florida definitely on the attack, taking advantage of that high pressure. IdeaSport unable to escape it 99% of the time. They're giving it right back to South Florida, which is resulting in at least one of the goals here today, and potentially could be some more unless they fix this problem. Not sure about Coach Greg's plans for the second half, if he's going to make any adjustments, expecting that IdeaSport's going to play a little bit more conservative, although they can't really afford to, being down 2-0. But we'll see how we go here as the second half starts. Appears to be the same lineup as we went into the half with. IdeaSport playing the ball out of the back. Now kicking long, but only to find Kawa, who plays it over to Gavin. Gavin to Mateo. Mateo up to Nick. Nick now trying to find M.A.D, but it puts a little too ahead of him. And it's going to be in a touch for IdeaSport. Well, our next game coming up is going to be against Orlando, the first Orlando team, who's second in the state within the MLS Next League. As Tiago is able to pinch this one away, another IdeaSport player came over to rescue him. But still, a lot of pressure here for IdeaSport. M.A.D comes away with that one. Nice move by M.A.D. Shot, and just wide. Again, IdeaSport living dangerously here, as you can see M.A.D making a move right here, and just sending it a little bit outside of the goal. Oh, man. IdeaSport, again, playing out of the back, under pressure. Center back here making a move. Finds one of his IdeaSport players, but I got to tell you, there's nowhere for him to go, as there is a triangle of defense just waiting for him. And this ball out of bounds for a throw. Next week's game, as I mentioned earlier, is not going to be an easy one for SFFA, as it is yet another away game for the South Florida team. Not having too many home games since the majority of them being canceled. We've had quite the road trip thus far. Next week's game will be the last game before a long hiatus for MLS Next, as this ball gets played up by Kawa to Karapetian. Karapetian now applying some pressure, trying to get the ball back. But during that break, South Florida should play several tournaments, or at least a couple tournaments, before they resume MLS Next games sometime in February. As IdeaSport is now on the attack, trying to move this ball forward. Brandon intervenes. Both Gavins there, and play this ball back to Edon, as Edon sends it long to clear the pressure. finds Thiago, who makes a leaping grab with his foot, and is able to get this ball off to Nick, but an IdeaSport player was there. Karapetian now back on the ball, plays it over to the other Gavin. Gavin now under pressure gives the ball away. Kawa now trying to get the ball back for South Florida, but appears to be called for a foul as he cut in front of the IdeaSport player. I don't really see an issue with that. Maybe he made incidental contact, but called for the foul nonetheless. And IdeaSport have another dangerous free kick here. Well, thus far, like I said, the referee has made few calls that I don't agree with, but that being one of them, I didn't really see much of that there, as this ball sent deep into the box, and our new keeper Valentino is there, who started the second half for Brandon. This ball played out and out of bounds. A lot of teams see Valentino and they think, okay, we're going to play this ball high, we're going to kick it high, and hopefully it'll get over him because he's not as tall as our keeper Brandon. But they are sorely mistaken, because Valentino has quite the vertical leap and typically gets those high shots. Even though some people would think they would go in, they definitely won't, because he's able to get his arms up to block them. As Nick goes to apply the pressure here, oh, nice move by the IdeaSport player, but Nick eventually wins that ball and is now on the attack here, working the ball on the left side and winning a throw-in. Not much has changed for the IdeaSport strategy, it doesn't appear, as M.A.D throws this ball back to Brandon. Brandon playing the ball up, looking for Karapetian, but can't find him. And IdeaSport back trying to find gaps in the South Florida defense to exploit. But as I said before, it doesn't appear much has changed. Looks like they have similar formation to what they had before. As this ball is played back to Kawa. Kawa up to Gavin. Gavin looking for Martin. Martin called for the foul. Trying to get that ball through the back of the player is always difficult. And it doesn't look like much has changed for them as they continue to try to force this ball under one side or the other. As this ball is played long. Nice free kick. And he's on there to meet it with his head. As Karapetian kicks the ball over to M.A.D. M.A.D now taking his time with the ball, as he has. And going down the left side, find Nick. Nick able to dribble this ball forward. And is met by a center back of IdeaSport. IdeaSport now trying to take the advantage with the South Florida players up the field. But Karapetian's there to come away with that free ball. And looking for Thiago. Cannot find him. And play is sort of slowed down here for a second. But Brandon quickly to get back up onto that ball. Finds M.A.D. M.A.D dribbling through. Ball's played down the line. Looking for Thiago. And cannot find him. And this ball is again thrown out. M.A.D to take the throw in. Ball is lost somewhere in there. Mateo able to come away with it. Playing the ball back for safety. Finds Brandon. Brandon back to Mateo. Mateo now looking forward. Finds M.A.D. M.A.D gets challenged. Has the ball taken away. Nick back on it somehow. And now Mateo. Mateo playing it over to the other Gavin. Gavin losing it over to the right side, but is able to muscle the IdeaSport player. And that's got to be our ball. All right, Martin to take the throw and finds Thiago. Thiago playing this ball up for Karapetian. Karapetian chests it down. Back to Martin. Martin heads the ball up forward. And another foul on Martin. Looks like this time he got underneath the IdeaSport player when he was going up for the header, although it doesn't look like he really had much contact with him at all. He still called for the foul. And IdeaSport now free kick from their own half. This ball played in. Doesn't seem to be a lot of movement towards it. Kind of slowed down a little bit. This ball's played back to the IdeaSport player. And a non-threatening kick up the field, which Valentino's going to take care of nicely as he waits to pick up the ball and does under pressure. IdeaSport, again, they get some passing together, but it appears that their players are just too bunched up and they're not really effectively exposing certain spaces as they were in the first quarter. This ball's played up to Thiago. He makes a nice move around his defender. Plays this ball into the path of Nick, who picks it up and is running down the sideline. He's unchallenged here. Let's see what he could do against the keeper. The keeper dives out. He's able to get a piece of it with his hand. Nick cuts back inside. He's got it on his left foot. Oh, that looked like a handball, but it falls to the feet of Thiago. Thiago tries to shoot. He gets blocked. Martin tries to shoot. He misses. And the ball is cleared into the relative safety, but not too far, as IdeaSport player comes away with it. It is played out by Idon. Idon is furiously pointing and is yellow carded for his protest for handball. I'm going to take another look at this, but I mean, this looked like it was a clear handball to me. As you see Nick coming in here, the keeper makes a nice move to get out and gets a hand to the ball, which causes Nick to slow down a little bit, but he makes a nice cut back inside and is able to get the ball on his left foot, and you can see it right here. Bam! Now, you could say that he had his arm close to his body, but he clearly swings his hand away in an effort to deflect the ball. I think that's clearly a handball. As we take another look, boom, he knocks it down and away. I would think that if we had VAR in this league, that would clearly be a penalty and going the way of South Florida. But unfortunately, we don't. We have to rely on what the referee and the side judges are able to come up with. But, wow. I know that would only take an instant, and you have to have a sharp eye on what's going on. So I can't necessarily blame the referee, but that was dead on. He clearly moved his arms in a way in order to deflect the ball. Otherwise, that ball would have came right back at Nick or up the middle of the field as IdeaSport plays this ball back. Well, that should have been 3-0 South Florida off of a penalty. Instead, that quick challenge there on the goalie. Instead, we come away with a yellow card for Idon. And now we are challenging the IdeaSport goal, but they are calling for an offsides. As we take another look here, not really sure who the offside call is on. It appears to be Thiago. Yeah, he's quite clearly offsides coming back for that ball. But we come away with a yellow card because Idon is protesting the fact that there wasn't a handball called, which is just crazy. But again, you have to watch what you say to these referees. Some are temperamental, some are easygoing, but clearly this one didn't want to be told that it was a handball. As this ball gets up to Nick, Nick is challenging the goalie, and there it is, 3-0. Oh no, it went in the side netting. Oh, I thought that was clearly in the net. I thought I saw the net going back and forth. Nick got a nice right foot to it and just went into the side netting, much like it did in the first quarter. Oh, man, again, an escape from this Orlando keeper as he plays this ball out long to the right side. He doesn't appear to have the leg in order to put it over that midfield line, but it is finding players pretty effectively this half as opposed to the first half. As IdeaSport now goes down the right side, Mateo's there to take the ball off his foot, and Idon plays this ball long. And looks like Carapation's going to come away with it and is called for a foul. How is he called for the foul in this? As he cut the ball over, he gets a foot to the ball and is pushed down as he gets to the ball. But we are called for the foul. All right, now I'm going to have to start eating my words because before I was saying the referee was calling quite a good game, but so far now two calls that are absolutely unbelievable in his play calling. This one now another foul against Martin. And that one's clearly a foul, unfortunately, for what I was about. As Idon played this one across, looking for M.A.D, he only found an IdeaSport player and putting them in a position where they could threaten the goal, but it doesn't look like they have the numbers in order to do so. As their midfielders join the attack here, they give the ball away to Thiago, who is fighting between two IdeaSport players right now to get him away with the ball, and he does, able to get a pass off, but it only finds the center back of the IdeaSport player. No foul called, and IdeaSport going up the field yet again, but another bad pass lands in Carpation's foot as he puts this ball through for Nick. I think Nick delayed his run because he knew he was offsides, as the IdeaSport keeper comes away with this one. Looking around now, taking his time, which IdeaSport really doesn't have. They down 2 goals, really need to get this ball moving, but they again give it to a South Florida player as Nick again comes away with this one, dribbling 3 IdeaSport players puts a shot on goal right at the goalkeeper. And this time they're playing in a hurry. But Martin will get a foot to that one. Gives it out to Gavin. Martin back to Gavin. Gavin over to Nick. Nick up to Mateo. Mateo takes a quick shot, but it looks like it took a little deflection, as there wasn't really a lot on that one. And it kind of dipped just right in front of the goalie, but it was well wide. IdeaSport keeper again in a pickle. Having to play short, as is their game plan. And here they come. Turn the ball over again. Mateo over to Gavin. Gavin up to Martin, just a little too hard. Martin unable to get that one, and it's going to be an IdeaSport throw. Well, another goal is definitely coming. You can smell it in the air. Nick is just all over these IdeaSport defenders, as is the rest of the South Florida team. We just keep on coming away with turnover after turnover in their own half, and it's definitely living dangerously, as they say, because South Florida is eventually going to capitalize on one of these mistakes that they are making here, as they get a free kick in the bottom right of the goal to take it, and Nick gets ahead to it. This one goes down. Carapation almost got a foot to it, and it's going to go out bounds for another corner for South Florida. As you can see here, Nick tries to get ahead to it. It goes up in the air. The keeper comes out. Carapation tries to get a foot to it, and it goes out for another corner. And here it comes into the box. Oh, this is here. Carapation takes the shot. Blocked by the IdeaSport keeper yet again. Wow, that was going in. Good positioning by the IdeaSport keeper here for another corner. This one's taken short, played out to Nick. Nick's going to get a nice run on it, puts it into the box. Headed out by IdeaSport. And another foul called here. And it's going to be a handball on Nick. Well, I'll tell you, this referee, for his eye for handballs, you think he would have got the one that was in the box. He's called several so far this game. And only missed the one that really matters, in my opinion. And we continue to play on here as Mateo now has the ball, playing over to M.A.D. And back to M.A.D. And is he going to be able to get there? No, IdeaSport player gets there, but it looks like M.A.D's able to muscle him off the ball. Nice move by M.A.D, playing the ball into the box. Thiago's there, and he puts it over the goal. Oh, no. He's just as upset about it as anybody. M.A.D with a nice move on the defender, gets that ball across. Thiago gets a foot to it and just plays it over the bar. You see about this. This is soccer players' nightmares. An open goal and puts the ball over. I hope he's not beating himself up too bad. But he's able to get a touch there. Gets the ball out to Nick. Nick now on the attack and shoots and scores. Here we go. 3-0. 3-0 South Florida. Thiago there, able to play some good defense. Able to poke that ball away from that center back defender of IdeaSport. And it results in another assist by Thiago. And another goal by South Florida. Unbelievable. Look at this. Just after missing a crucial shot, Thiago plays hard, comes back, doesn't dwell on his mistake, and is able to come away with a great tackle in order to get Nick on the ball and put this ball in the back of the goal. And as I said earlier, IdeaSport was playing with fire, living dangerously, and listen, some teams can do it, some teams can't. IdeaSport's having a very difficult day today playing out of the back, and they have paid for it to the tune of 2 goals at the very least. And we'll see if it continues to affect them throughout the game. But, man, wow, what a goal. What a game so far for IdeaSport, as they're having issues all day. And South Florida capitalizing on every mistake. And this ball goes out in a touch. Unbelievable. IdeaSport now on the ball, trying to get something going, but unfortunately cannot, as Nick is back on this ball again. Nick taking his time, looking and surveying the field, finds Carapation. Carapation plays it out to the side, but unfortunately there's no South Florida player there in order to collect, and this ball is just kicked out of bounds by IdeaSport. Well, time to really step on the gas here, see if we can get some more goals before this game is over, as we are just about at the hour mark of the game. Carapation comes down with this ball, plays into the box for Mateo. Mateo gets a nice foot to it, but it goes to the keeper. That was almost 4-0. And I should also mention that Nick has now earned his hat trick. I failed to do that when we scored the 3rd goal. Congratulations to him. I believe it's the first hat trick of the season, as now M.A.D's on this ball. Plays this ball across. It's over the keeper, and it's in. 4-0 South Florida. M.A.D from the left side with that magical left foot. Puts it into the goal, right over the keeper's head, loops it over him. He picked up his head, spotted that keeper up close to his near post. Was able just to pop that one into the back corner. Great goal. 4-0 South Florida. They are on fire right now in Fuego and looking for more as they press and attack this IdeaSport team who's ripe for giving away some more. As South Florida pressures their midfield, IdeaSport's finding little pockets to pass into, but having to fight for every pass. As South Florida is like sharks and they smell blood in the water, they are going for the attack. As Nick now holds this ball up, finds his pass to Mateo. Mateo now looking around. He finds Gavin. Gavin trying to get the ball up the field, but is pressured by the IdeaSport player and gives it away. Here comes Martin. Martin with a nice takeaway from that IdeaSport player. He didn't know where he was coming from, and he gets it off to Carpathian. Carpathian plays it to Tiago, but Tiago losing the handle, and it's out into touch for IdeaSport. Well, I'll tell you, the South Florida players have got a fire lit under them. They are trying to get every goal they can, make every play possible, and really try to get the most out of this game and get some of that goal differential back that they've lost in some of these other games. So we'll see how they come away today as Martin plays it safe and plays this one back to Idan, who then plays a cross over to Brandon. Brandon up the field to Mateo. Mateo charging through, puts the ball up, looking for Tiago on the run. And they're going to have an offsides call here on Tiago, the second one of the day, as he goes down, clutching his foot. I'm not sure what happened there. Looks like he might be coming off the field here, but he seems to be all right. All right, IdeaSport now on the attack. Lose the ball quickly. Carapetian now on the ball, looking around. Tiago looking to make a run. He finds Martin out on the right. Martin on the ball now. Looking around, finds Tiago. Tiago making a nice move, cutting inside, plays the ball in. Finds Nick. Nick pops the ball up and to Mateo. Mateo with a nice little move to get over the defender. Still on the ball, taking a shot. Oh, it just goes wide. A lot of work from Mateo there. Definitely, there's got to be a goal on the way for him. He is really working hard there today. Look at that move over the defender to get into that space. And then he just keeps on working it. Oh, there could have been another handball, but apparently the referee didn't see that one. And Mateo continues to work it and kicks the ball and just goes wide of the net. What a shame. IdeaSport, again, playing out of the back. They'll get it right at some point, but not today. Martin gets the ball. Martin over to Carpathian. Carpathian to Nick. Nick now feeling cocky on the ball. Gets the ball off to Tiago. Tiago takes a shot, and this one goes wide of the goal again. Oh, just past the keeper. Everybody's trying to get on the board today. We'll see how it goes. As, again, IdeaSport playing short. This ball popped up. Back to the center back, IdeaSport. Now he's trying to make a move on the ball. Finds somebody out here on the left side. And they just cannot get out of this corner. There are South Florida shirts everywhere. But they managed to do it. But Martin there to get a foot to it. Finds Gavin. Gavin looking across, finds Mateo. Mateo is clearly fouled as IdeaSport players' frustration are coming out a little bit as they can, again, kick in the back of the leg by number 8 of IdeaSport. Idan lining up on the ball. Nick takes a quick kick to Idan. Idan sending it into the middle, finds the chest of Mateo, but it goes down to Nick. Nick is now on the ball, running in, looking for a fourth goal. Takes a shot with his left foot. This one's blocked. And it's going to be a corner for South Florida. Well, Nick, again, smells another goal in his future. Looked like he was well on his way to his fourth as Mora lines up to take this corner. Goes a little short, but finds the foot of Brian. Brian trying to do a little bit of golazo action there, but unfortunately just couldn't wrap his foot around it in order to get it on goal. And it's going to be out of bounds for a goal kick. IdeaSport keeper constantly under pressure today. He's definitely getting his work in. Trying to find some passing. But pressured again and giving it away is IdeaSport. And JC now in the game looking to make a play. trying to get on the scoreboard himself. IdeaSport plays this one back to their goalie. Now trying to work the other side of the field. Finding feet until they worked it out here to the right side. IdeaSport a little bit better passing now as we brought on some substitutions. There might be an opportunity here for IdeaSport to capitalize on the switch of momentum. As Mora checked in, JC checked in, Brian checked in, and this ball is being played back, but Mateo's there to apply the pressure. Ball back up the field. Mora is now on it. Mora looking around. He's surrounded, but somehow gets the ball out to Brian. Brian now on that left side, trying to work it in. IdeaSport comes away with it. Now working up the field. Coming down that right side pretty quickly. Mateo trying to apply some pressure. Uh-oh, this could be dangerous. IdeaSport's on the run here. Matthew's trying to get back. Cow's there. Ball's across. Oh! That definitely looked like it was going to be the first goal of the game for South Florida as this ball is played across. It just did not find the head of the IdeaSport player. It looked like it was behind him. Oh, man. South Florida dodging a bullet there, and the clean sheet is intact thus far as this ball is played back to Matthew, just recently checked back in. Ball over to M.A.D. M.A.D up to Mateo. Mateo playing the ball long to Brian. Brian with a nice back heel, trying to find Mora on the run, just can't do it. And Mora is going to be called for the foul. Yeah, definitely got a couple hands on him. Can't say that he didn't. But that's how we like to play. We like to play physical. We like to let the other team know we are there, and we're not going to make it easy for them. As IdeaSport now pressured to play this ball back. Oh, that was a clear giveaway there. As JC tries to run this one down. IdeaSport throw. And they managed to find a few feet here. Number 10 for IdeaSport, passing it back. Again, IdeaSport pressured and give the ball away. And JC now in the ball for the throw. Cow is in on the right side. JC plays back to Julian. Julian to JC. JC unable to get to it, but Carpathian does. And is pushed out of bounds. Clearly, I think that was a foul right in front of the line judge. And it is going to be a free kick. JC on the ball to take it. Plays it into the box. Headed out by the center back of IdeaSport. Julian now on the ball. Gets it to Brian. Brian chesting it down, but IdeaSport player there to harass him enough to know of turnover. Back to Lano. Lano over to JC, who's now making a dashing run across the field. Gets it over to Mora. Mora now on the run. He's got it. Oh, there has to be a foul called there. And it does appear to be. Number 20 of IdeaSport, who's been relatively a good player all day today. He goes in for a slide tackle and gets nothing but Mora. No ball contact whatsoever as Mora lines up to take this free kick from a dangerous spot in close to the box. He pops this one over. Matthew trying to get there. And the ball's played up to Lano. Lano puts the ball back in. Brian gets a foot to it. Thiago with another shot off the crossbar. Wow. A lot of force generated in that shot, and it was whipping in there, and it just hit the crossbar and out. As M.A.D gets a foot to this one, he plays it back into the box. Thiago's there again. JC comes away with it. JC trying to play the ball back. Coward finds it. He gets the ball to Thiago. Thiago now on the ball, trying to do some fancy footwork here. He crosses it over. I think he found the foot of Brian, but it just pinged off of him and into the IdeaSport player's hands. Wow, Thiago with a heck of a shot. I'm sure we'll see a replay. But that ball just went pinging off the crossbar. Definitely looked like it was whipping in as this ball's kept in bounce somehow by IdeaSport. Matthew on the ball plays it back to the goalie. Valentino plays it up to Cow. Cow makes a bad pass in the middle of the field. Could IdeaSport capitalize on this shot? And nothing threatening the keeper as it bounces harmlessly in front of him. And Valentino taking his time with this ball. waiting for the pressure to come before picking it up, as he does. Well, again, got a little bit dangerous there for IdeaSport, with Thiago taking that shot on the crossbar, but then they immediately answered back with their own threat downfield. As this ball goes and lands at JC's feet, he makes a run down the sideline. Oh, and a slide tackle by IdeaSport puts this ball out of bounds. As we take another look here, you see Brian gets a touch to it. Thiago takes a little touch, shoots on the bounce, and bam, right off the crossbar. Wow, what a beautiful goal that would have been if it had gone in. I'll tell you, Thiago, it's just not his day today, but one day it will be soon. With shots like that and positioning that he's had all game, it's just been amazing. As he gets harassed there by a couple of IdeaSport players. Looks like Kawa's going to come away with this. Oh no, the IdeaSport player gets around Kawa. Now it's a fight between Matthew and number 13. Matthew gets positioning and is fouled by the IdeaSport player. That was a clear push in the back. I don't see how this isn't going to be a yellow card, but it doesn't appear the referee's making any type of gesture to go to his pocket. As you can see here, Matthew gets in front of the IdeaSport player. He is not going to get to that ball, and he just pushes him into the keeper. That could have been dangerous play all the way. I mean, if Matthew had landed into Valentino, that could have led to a serious injury for both players. But nothing is done by this referee in order to chastise the player from IdeaSport, who was clearly frustrated and fouled Matthew in the back. All right, well, we're over the hour mark here. This should be coming to an end shortly as Mora throws this ball in. IdeaSport trying to get back on the attack here. M.A.D. play it back to Matthew. Matthew plays it up the field. Finds Brian. Brian still on the ball. Getting down the field. Oh, just too many IdeaSport players in front of him. But he fought hard to try to get to that one. And here we go. IdeaSport on the ball now with probably only a couple of minutes left as they play this ball down the line. M.A.D. there to meet it with his head. Gets a hold of it with his foot. Finds Karapetian. Karapetian up the field to Thiago. Thiago on the run again makes a sliding chance. He's doing anything he can to try to score that goal. He just couldn't get there. And IdeaSport's keeper's coming away with the ball. I think he's just holding on to it now in order to prevent any more goals from being scored as he kicks this ball up to his number 8. Number 8 plays it up the field. M.A.D. gets a little bit of a foot to it, but not enough. IdeaSport not trying to play it through. Matthew there to block the pass as JC gets this ball to Karapetian. Karapetian plays it through but cannot get there. And the referee is blowing for a foul way at the opposite end of the field. Looks like they fouled JC trying to get that ball. Good call as Matthew lines up on this ball to take the free kick. And he goes short to Kawa. Kawa up to JC. JC over to Julian. Julian now on the ball. Plays it across to Brian. Brian takes a shot with his left foot, and it's over the goal. Take another look here. It's a nice foot to it. And just over that left post of the goal. All the South Florida players are still up, still applying that pressure because they know IdeaSport's going to try to play it at the back. And keeper's in trouble here. Ooh, he's able to get that one off to his center back. That almost turned into a goal. And now the center back for IdeaSport trying to get this ball up, although he is laboring to get up the field. He kicks this one to M.A.D. M.A.D. kicks it back. IdeaSport still in relative control of the ball. Getting some pressure from Lano. Gets the ball down the sideline. IdeaSport actually playing better in this last 10 minutes than they have all the game. Making passes, making runs, creating gaps. And now the ref is going to be giving a yellow card to number 8 of IdeaSport for throwing an elbow. I'll be honest with you, probably should have given him a yellow card earlier when he pushed Matthew down. But no yellow card given until now as Brian takes another shot on goal, this one right at the keeper. And that'll be the ball game. Well, 4-0 South Florida. 0 goals for IdeaSport, leading to a clean sheet for the keepers here of South Florida Football Academy. We hope you join us next time when we play Orlando City, who's the second place team in the state. This has been a heck of a game. We hope you enjoyed it. Nick on a hat trick, M.A.D. scoring his first goal of the season, and some Sunshine players got a chance to play in what is a spectacular win. We hope to see you again soon. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to click and subscribe. And we'll see you later. From Mad About Soccer, have a great day.